warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi guys, how are you today? I hope you are well even though we are in a pandemic now. Guys, before I explain about my result about midterm test public speaking, I want to introduce myself first. My name is Kania Mardiana, NPM 19103030232 from class 1. Okay guys, I want to explain about my result public speaking midterm test. Start from number 1. Why public speaking is important? In my opinion, public speaking is important because public speaking can help in work, help hone speaking skills in front of many people, help hone mentally, and hone creativity and critical thinking. Number 2. Mention and explains 3 stages. The process of preparing the presentation speech is 1. Introduction. In the introduction, usually discuss the presenter's biography and explains a little about the topic of discussion and the length of time the topic is presented. Number 2. Unveiling. At this stage, the presenter explains his own experience that the audience can take an example of, provides an interesting discussion, and is closely related to the topic to be discussed. Number 3. Wrap up. At this stage, the time is right for the presenter to determine the main topic of the discussion being discussed. Furthermore, the presenter provides encouragement and an explanation that makes the audience feel as soon as possible to make the recommended change to the discussion of the topic. Number 3. I think this intimidation is very troubling for everyone, especially children. The perpetrator of bullying must receive punishment that has a deterrent effect, so that in the future there will be no more case reports related to bullying. In addition, the school itself provides guidance and strict sanctions for bullying perpetrators. For the victims themselves, the teachers provide facilities and mental care that can make the victims feel normal and cheerful like before. In my opinion, the preventative measures to break the chain of bullying mentioned in the text above are very helpful and can be applied in all schools. Number 4. I want to explain about mental health. We know that everyone has experienced mental illness. However, most of them do not know what is mental illness, how the cause and consequence of mental illness, and how to prevent it. To find out more about mental health, I'm going to talk about mental health. Mental health reviewed by HelloDoc editor. Definition of mental health is a affected by events in life that leave a large impact on a person's personality and behavior. These events can include domestic violence, child abuse, or long-term stress. If mental health is impaired, mental illness or mental illness may result. Mental disorders can change the way a person handles stress, relate to others, make choices, and trigger a desire to self-harm. Common types of mental disorders include depression, bipolar disorder, anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder, obsessive-compulsive disorder, and psychosis. Some mental illness only occur in certain types of sufferers, such as postpartum depression that only affects mothers after giving birth. Mental health symptoms, mental health disorders, or mental illness can be preceded by the following symptoms, including yelling or fighting with family and friends, delusions, paranoia or hallucination, losing the ability to concentrate, the fear, worry, or guilt that always haunts you, inability to cope with everyday stress or problems, excessive anger and vulnerable to violence, having bad experience and memories that can't be forgotten, have thoughts of hurting yourself or others, withdraw from people and daily activities, hearing voice or believing something that is not true, experiencing unexplained pain, experiencing drastic mood swings that cause problems in relationships with other people, feeling confused, forgetful, angry, often anxious, upset, worried, and unusually afraid, feeling sad, meaningless, helpless, hopeless, smoking, drinking more than usual, or even using drugs. Drastic changes in eating habits, such as eating too much or too little. Change in sex drive. Significant fatigue, decreased energy, or trouble sleeping. Unable to carry out daily activities such as caring for children or going to school or work. Not being able to understand situations and people. Cause of mental health. Some common causes of mental disorders include head injury, genetic factors, or there is family history of people with mental disorders, domestic violence or other abuse, child abuse or a history of violence in childhood, having a brain chemical disorder or a brain disorder, experiencing discrimination and stigma, experiencing the loss or death of someone very close. Experiencing social loss such as poverty or debt problems. Caring for a chronically ill family member or friend. Unemployed, out of work, or homeless. The influence of toxic substance, alcohol, or drugs that can damage the brain. Severe stress experienced for a long time. Is socially isolated or feels lonely, living in a bad residential neighborhood. Significant trauma, such as military combat, serious accidents, or crimes and past experience. Mental health medicine. Some of the treatment options that doctors will use in dealing with mental disorders include psychotherapy. Psychotherapy is a talk therapy that provides a safe medium for sufferers to express feelings and ask for advice. Psychiatrists will provide assistance by guiding the sufferer in controlling feelings. Psychotherapy, along with treatment using drugs, are the most effective way to treat mental illness. Some examples of psychotherapy include cognitive behavior therapy, exposure therapy, dialectical behavior therapy, and so on. Drugs. The administration of drugs to treat mental illness generally aims to change brain chemicals in the brain. These drugs are in the form of selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors or SSRIs, serotonin norepinephrine reuptake inhibitor or SNRIs, and tricyclic antidepressants. These medications are generally combined with psychotherapy for more effective treatment results. Support groups. Support groups generally consist of people with similar mental illness or who can control their emotions well. They come together to share experience and guide one another towards recovery. Brain stimulation. Brain stimulation includes electroconvulsive therapy, transcranial magnetic stimulation, experimental treatments called deep brain stimulation, and vagus nerve stimulation. Make plans for yourself, such as adjusting your lifestyle and daily habits to fight mental illness. This plan aims to monitor health and aid in the recovery process and identify triggers or warning signs of illness. Okay guys, this is my explain my result midterm test of public speaking. If I make mistake, I want to apologize for you, and thank you so much if you're watching my video. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you.